Throughout it.
Alright, now, from now, do the thing now, alright. Showing the way you at. Your best bet, take it up with the. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Rich, and I'm back. Oh, I gotta fix it. I'm back. Another reaction video. I don't know, I keep slapping my hand. Another reaction video of NBA players explaining how crazy good MVP Derrick Rose was. Derrick Rose in his prime, that man was a beast. You feel me? Like he didn't get to ride out his prime. He was very injury prone, and then he started getting into some legal troubles. I think this was, and what year was it? 2015, 2014. I can't even remember. It could have been earlier than that. I don't even really remember, but let's get into it.
NBA history, there have been dozens of what-if players who've tempted the basketball world with all-time great potential only to fall short of where we feel they should have ended up in their careers. From young guns who've joined the league with massive expectations and not lived up to the hype, to players who've shown flashes of brilliance but never consistently enough to be considered elite in the way they should have been. From players whose careers never got off the ground, such as Greg Oden, to players who could only be a—
Wow, so the whole time he's talking about all these players, he never gave a name until he said Greg Oden. That's messed up.
shadow of the potential they showed, such as Grant Hill and Brandon Roy.
Didn't check some more names.
The history of the league is littered with players who could have been surefire Hall of Famers. Some of them managed to carve out a career in the league despite injury issues. Shawn Kemp, Sean Livingston, and Larry Bird come to mind. But for the most part, serious injuries derail what looked sure to be spectacular, once-in-a-generation careers. Perhaps the biggest what-if the league has ever seen, though, is the youngest ever MVP, Chicago native and Bulls legend, Derrick Rose.
I didn't know he was the youngest MVP, so shout out to Derrick Rose, man.
There's a lot of talk about the fact Rose only won the MVP award because voters were tired of watching LeBron dominate so comprehensively in previous years. The truth, though, is that Derrick Rose was the driving force behind a Chicago Bulls team that were looking like perennial title contenders until Rose's knee went and took the franchise's aspirations of returning to the heady heights of the Jordan days with it. While fans, journalists, pundits, and others outside the league debated just how deserving Rose was of the MVP award in the 2010-2011 season, the players have no doubt that Rose was the real deal and could have been one of the greatest ever to play the game had his knees been a little more cooperative.
That is nice.
To give you an idea of just how good he really was, we're going to take a look at what some of the superstars of the game have said about the explosive guard from Chicago.
It's my pleasure to award to you the Kia NBA 2010-11 MVP trophy.
Jamal Crawford, one of the veterans of the NBA and a fan favorite, was quick to make it clear how good he thinks Derrick Rose was in that MVP season. When asked his opinion on the matter, Crawford said,
"Well, I'm the biggest Derrick Rose fan. I've always been the biggest Derrick Rose fan. I've always said that I would take him that MVP year against
they got random ass popping up in the video.
High praise indeed from a player whose league has seen. Crawford was drafted in 2000. Some of the point guards to play in the league since then include Steve Nash and Jason Kidd, both of whom were in their primes, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, and Russell Westbrook. For Crawford to name Rose ahead of all those players so emphatically is an indication of just how ridiculous the Chicago native was in winning the MVP that year. Another fan favorite and veteran of the league at the time Rose had his MVP year was Richard R.I.P. Hamilton, an NBA champion with the Detroit Pistons in 2004 and a three-time All-Star. Hamilton joined the Chicago Bulls ahead of the 2011-2012 season. In a video with fellow NBA players Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, Hamilton said,
"I played with a lot of great players. Derrick Rose during that time was probably the most talented player I ever played with.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, at 23 too. Think about that. At just starting.
At 23, man, yo, this dude was ridiculous."
Considering the caliber of the players in the league when R.I.P. Hamilton was playing, that is a huge testament to just how special Derrick Rose was before injuries derailed what could have been one of the greatest careers the NBA had ever seen. When pressed on how good he thought Derrick Rose could have been if his career had been allowed to continue
These
uninhibited by
highlights
injury,
crazy.
Hamilton said,
In my opinion, Derrick Rose is definitely top 10, easily. You know, could be top 5.
when you consider some of the greats to play point guard, such as Magic Johnson, John
Derrick
Stockton,
Rose to
Isaiah
this
Thomas,
point,
Gary Payton,
I think
Steph
he's
Curry,
probably
and
like
Jason Kidd,
he's probably
it's
still
clear
in my
that
top
Rose was
10. He's
considered
probably
a
number
generational
10.
talent by his peers. What people tend to forget when discussing
Because he's not at the
Rose
height
is
of
that he
his
was only
career.
22
It's not
years
saying
old
like
when
I'm
he
a
won his
fan base
first
or anything, but
MVP.
those injuries that he
still
was
the
getting
youngest
during that
MVP
time
ever.
frame,
An argument
it
could
did
be made
hinder him
that,
a lot.
given his early rise to the top of the league,
So as
Rose may have
it
had a more
stands right
successful
now,
career than
I go
any king
KD.
before
No,
him.
no, no.
Nothing
Take
is
that.
guaranteed in sport.
If we're doing
Derrick
top 10
Rose
all
learned
time,
that
I
the
go
hard way.
MJ.
But it isn't
MJ,
a wild statement
Shaq,
to say he could have been one of the top 10 players of all time based off how
KD.
early in his career he became the best player in the league. In fact, if we look at the praise other players had heaped on him at the time, and
I can't even
since,
think of the
it
rest.
isn't
I just
much
know
of
my
a
top
leap at
3.
all to say Rose is the biggest what if the league has ever seen. Another NBA champion and elite level point guard who is certain they have never played anyone of Rose's
Isaiah
quality
Thomas.
is Celtics legend and current member of the Atlanta Hawks, Rajon Rondo.
Oops.
When Rondo appeared
Oop.
on All the
Oh,
Smoke,
how the
he was
hell
asked
did I
if he's
get
ever
Isaiah
faced
Thomas?
anybody who compared to 2011 Rose. Rondo responded by saying, "No, man, nobody."
His rookie year, go against that nigga 7 games. Proud.
Straight up.
Can you compare a prime time D Rose to anyone you've ever either played against or seen? Can you compare him to anybody?
Nah, man. Anybody.
See, I was about to say you can't.
Anybody fucking him.
It's good that he's getting this praise, but
Boy, he putting your ass in
he
trouble.
didn't live up to the hype. Like he's still in the
Rondo is a
game
two-time NBA
now. He's still a
all-defensive
good
first-team
player.
member. So for him to
Overall,
say
I'll
Rose
give
is the
him
most unguardable player he's
7
ever
out of
played
10
is about as high
as
as praise
current
comes
Derrick
for
Rose,
the
'cause
former
he's
Bulls
came
star.
back from a lot.
Another elite defending guard and Chicago native who believes
But
Rose is the most
y'all don't play
unstoppable
against some
player
greats.
he's
I don't
ever
play
seen
against
is
some
Jimmy
Kobe's,
Buckets
some
Butler.
LeBrons,
Butler
Jimmy
was on the
Butlers.
Bulls squad for the prime D Rose years after being drafted by them in 2011 after Rose won MVP. Butler said in the Players Tribune,
And when I would see him do stuff in practice, I thought, man, that's absolutely incredible. And then he go and do it 2 times that in the game. I was like, man, this guy is for real.
Jimmy might be a little biased, being a Chicago native and teammate of Rose. However, given his reputation for calling out teammates for underperforming, regardless of how talented they are, we think it's a safe bet to assume that when Jimmy says D-Rose is the best he's seen, that D-Rose really is the best he's seen. There's another Chicago native who plays shooting guard and happens to be a big fan of D-Rose. Dwayne Wade, a surefire Hall of Famer with 3 championships and a Finals MVP to his name, along with numerous other accolades, was quoted as saying, "If you're not a fan of Derrick Rose, if you don't root for him, something is really wrong with you." Crucially, this quote touches on an aspect of how good Derrick Rose is that has received less attention than his on-court ability. Across the board, NBA stars who've chimed in on Derrick Rose and his ability as a player have been quick to follow it up with comments on how good of a person he is.
That
And all
behind the
interviews
back,
we could pull
though.
up of people commenting on D Rose, everyone who knew him had nothing but good things to say about him. Nothing captures just how loved the league's youngest MVP is more than players reacting to his career-high 50-point night while playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. LeBron James, the man considered Rose's biggest rival in the East as he reached the height of his powers, said of the 50-point performance,
win.
"So extremely happy and proud of you, bro." LeBron James had clearly been rooting for Rose to make a return to regular basketball behind the scenes for a while, and he isn't alone. Steph Curry, another MVP point guard and Hall of Fame lock, said of Rose's 50-point game, "This is so dope, man. Can't imagine the down
That's
days,
what's up.
weeks,
That's
months, and
teamwork.
years
Y'all
he
boys
went
on
through.
different teams. Y'all
50
still
ball.
shouting out other
So
players.
much
That's what's
respect,
up, man.
bro. A fitting tribute to the hard work and determination that went into getting back on the court after multiple injury layoffs for Rose. The 50-point game was also an opportunity for some of the newer players in the league to see a one-night return of the player that tore up the league almost a decade ago.
I remember like
Norman lost a daughter, that's what we know about
what
him.
was it?
First
It
of all,
was
he did horrible, despicable things to try to get a new daughter.
whenever he went to the Knicks.
CJ
whatever
McCollum, a
2K
member of the
game that
Portland
was.
Trailblazers and one of
They a glitch so you can have his jersey in the park because you can get his jersey in the park. You would it's not you make a custom jersey. I think people got traded to the Knicks on NBA 2K, and then they changed their last name to Rose and they number 25. So like you just see a bunch of people on the court with number 25 jersey, and I was like, dang, how the hell y'all get that? And somebody told me, they was like, oh, you need to go to the Knicks and change your name. And wear your player's jersey in the game. I was like, oh. So, That boy Rose is good, man. I'm gonna stop it short here. You feel me? Rose, he probably got a ring in him. Not by himself, especially the way the league is right now. He ain't got a ring by himself. He gonna need somebody around him. We'll take you in Miami, my boy. You'll be a great addition. We'll definitely take you. But you already know what it is, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. You feel me? Check me out on my social media platforms. You feel me? Till next time.